Red Elk relies on food stamps, not only for herself, but her 1-year-old baby.
With it being such short notice, I didn't prepare. So I didn't, instead of buying the chips and the extra stuff, I would have bought more formula, and I didn't do that.
Look at that. Hey guys, AJ here, back with another one for you guys. The EBT apocalypse is almost here, man. Guys, November 1st, guys, these food stamps, man, these chicks are cooked. They're cooked. All these strong and independent chicks.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore.
Guys,
winter is coming.
Winter is here, man, because, dude, man, Orange Man's taking these food stamps away. This government shutdown, right? There's no funding, and they're cooked. Now, guys, it's so bad that these single moms are actually going on the news and complaining about this foolishness, right? All these knuckleheaded broads who let Chad, Tyrone, and even Nug and Gavin shoot up the club, right? Guys, they're on the news. I don't even have to go to the dumpster fire known as TikTok because it's all over the news. They are scared, they are shook, and guys, all we can do is point at them and laugh. So guys, we have a whole bunch of clips here from the news of these dunderheads whining about how scared they are about food stamps going away. So we'll get into this. Before we do, like, subscribe, drop a comment. Guys, I have a second channel called 50304s that's linked in the description. Please go and check that out. You join my Discord. I check out the playlist at the end, and I'm offering memberships now. So guys, hit that join button as you get access to my members only content, my daytime lives, you get custom emojis. You know, thanks to all you guys that are already members. And guys, let's get into this.
SNAP benefits being placed on pause due to the federal government shutdown. One mother in my Southside Lansing neighborhood says she doesn't know how her household will financially survive. Here's her story. You say you have 9 kids.
9 kids.
You could say Monique Clark is used to having a full house. 5 of her children have left the nest, but 4 are still living at home.
My oldest is 17 that I'm taking care of. And then I have my 14-year-old Carlito. And then I have my 10-year-old Benny, and then my 8-year-old daughter.
A big family that comes along with a lot of responsibilities. And as a single mom, Monique says things aren't always easy.
Financially, is that tough?
Yeah, it is. Very. Very.
And Monique is expecting things to get even tougher. She receives food stamps, but those funds have been placed on pause due to the federal government shutdown.
It's sad. Very sad. Hurtful, you know, for just the government to just shut down everybody. It's not right at all.
Monique says she usually receives her food assistance on the 11th of every month, and if the pause is still ongoing by then, she says her family's favorite holiday just won't be the same.
What am I gonna do? Thanksgiving's coming up, you know. Always was a resource for Thanksgiving to get, you know, all the necessary things, especially after the bills and stuff being paid. So it's, yeah, still think about it like it's crazy. It makes no sense.
And as she tries to financially stay afloat during this pause, Monique is hoping a solution from the federal level comes sooner rather than later.
You have people that can't go out and work, that need that resource, so they need to reconsider all these families out here and consider doing something different.
Reporting here in my neighborhood on the south side of Lansing, I'm Larry Wallace, Fox 47 News.
Look at that, guys. They need to consider getting a job, right, guys? Clown world.
Government shutdown is now in day 23. As it continues, thousands of Hoosier families are still worried about feeding their children.
Families that receive SNAP benefits say that the order to hold that money back have been feeling like collateral damage in all of this. That includes Samantha Bandy. She's a working single mother with a medical condition, trying to balance a job while raising her children and struggling to make ends meet.
Bandy says this came at a terrible time for her family. Her rent just increased. She's also recovering from surgery and starting physical therapy, and that will cut into her working hours.
Good.
Everybody's situation is unique, and it's not a fun thing to need food stamps. Being in poverty and all that, it's not something that, at least not me, that I want to be in. And programs like this have just had a huge impact and help for me.
We also talked with Emily Bryant with Feeding Indiana Hungry earlier this week, and she told us Indiana starts issuing benefits on the 5th of this month, of next month, which does give a little more wiggle room than some other states.
Well, living with uncertainty as the federal government shutdown continues, starting November 1st, Bay Area families using government assistance to pay for groceries may temporarily lose those benefits.
NBC Bay Area's Marianne Favre talked with a single mom in the South Bay she's bracing for the worst. Marianne?
Here we go.
Garvin Chelsea Hollingsworth of San Jose says she receives SNAP benefits to feed her kids. Now she's scrambling to find other options next month in case those benefits are cut off. Single mom Chelsea Hollingsworth doesn't want her 3-year-old Keanu and 2-year-old Caden to go hungry. She says every month she buys $648 worth of fruit, veggies, meat, and milk for them at Walmart using the SNAP food assistance program that allows her to select her own food.
My kids are very picky eaters.
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, gotta translate.
So having SNAP benefits actually helps let them choose what they want to eat and help them get the nutrients and stuff that they need.
She's one of more than 5 million Californians who receive SNAP benefits. Chelsea used to be unhoused and considers the program a lifeline for her family. She's searching for a job, but says if the federal government shutdown continues and she loses her SNAP benefits November 1st, she may be forced to make tough choices.
I'm trying to see what I can do to work it out so I can still feed my kids and I can still have a roof over my kids.
She's gone to food banks in the past, but says it's been a challenge finding food her boys will eat. So she's now trying to stretch her SNAP dollars while she has them by stockpiling canned goods.
So I'm trying to keep that so they don't have to worry, because no 2-year-old or 3-year-old should have to worry about eating or getting food or when they're going to get their next meal.
Well, last year, more than 13% of California.
Did you guys just hear this dunderhead say that she goes to the food pantry where there's free food, and she's saying that there's stuff that her kids won't eat? There's an old saying that says beggars can't be choosers, you dunderhead. What are you talking about? And guys, isn't it crazy? She doesn't look like she's missed any meals. This is the only country on earth where poor people can be this fat. And guys, she's unhoused. That means she's homeless. Look at that. Lazy, good for nothing, dunderheads, clown world.
Families already struggling fear their situation might get worse.
They're worried their SNAP benefits, commonly known as food stamps, will be cut off starting November 1st.
News 4's Sydney Batzloff joins us in studio. Sydney, you talked to an organization that helps mothers with criminal records rebuild their lives. They're going to be greatly impacted here.
Andrew and Kevin, that's right. Remerge is the alternate.
Man, homegirl can get it, man. Look at this broad right here, man. Shh. Look at that in the news. Let's go.
A pair of titties make you want to stand up and beg for buttermilk.
To prison, giving mothers a second chance. But with SNAP possibly going away, leaders say it could threaten the progress these women have worked so hard to make.
The ability to recover.
Inside, you'll find mothers working toward a fresh start.
Because sometimes people make mistakes and they don't define you, and if you do the work, you can turn your life around.
Remerge helps those like Jenica Red Elk, who would otherwise be in prison.
For each mother that is in our program, they would be serving upwards of 10 years of prison time. By the time they complete our program, their felony charges are dismissed, they're reunited with their children, they have stable employment and housing.
But all of that progress could soon be on the line.
It just feels like another roadblock to what I'm trying to do.
That roadblock is the government shutdown. If it continues past November 1st, SNAP benefits will run dry, leaving hundreds of thousands of Oklahomans without a lifeline.
It's scary and it's nerve-wracking.
Red Elk relies on food stamps, not only for herself, but her 1-year-old baby.
With it being such short notice, I didn't prepare. So I didn't, instead of buying the chips and the extra stuff, I would have bought more formula, and I didn't do that.
And she's not the only mother worried about what's to come.
We're currently serving 90 moms in our program. About 71% of those women are on SNAP benefits.
Remerge is now having to get creative.
We're looking at opening a food pantry and soliciting the community to provide staple food items so that our moms and their babies won't go without.
Remerge says they're ready to start taking donations to fill that pantry.
Now, guys, these chicks are getting 10 years sentences. That's usually drugs, right? Has to be. Especially in a place like Oklahoma. Because men never get this type of benefit, ever. These chicks probably have 3, 4, 5 drug charges. They're junkies. And not only do they not get jail time, they get their records expunged. If you guys don't think that we live in a gynocracy, this is proof right here. Look at that.
Children. CBS 46 reporter Melissa Stern is getting results for a single mom who is waiting on her government benefits she says are past due. Melissa joins us live from the Division of Family and Children's Services with the details on this one. Melissa, this was a dire situation for her.
Man, both these chicks can get it too. Man, what news stations are these? Let's go.
She's like all these babes. You get their pilot lit, they can start a leaf blower.
Look at that.
On this one, Melissa, this was a dire situation for her.
She says she tried calling, but she couldn't get through, so she came down here and was told her paperwork was already approved, yet she still doesn't have her benefits.
My son came from school yesterday and was like, Mom, you
Isn't it funny, guys? They talk about we starving, and yet I have to translate.
haven't received your benefits yet? And I was like, no, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say.
As single mom Valerie Atkins shows us her empty kitchen, she says it breaks her heart to see her kids living off bread and canned food every night.
It's been very hard, and especially to see my kids not have anything to eat. It's been really hard.
She's supposed to receive SNAP benefits, food stamps, and Medicaid for her children. As she's currently unemployed, lives in Section 8 housing, and has 4 children.
I did my renewal online before the renewal date was due, which was April the 30th. So my renewal was done on March the 28th. I didn't receive a notice. I didn't receive anything. So I assumed that it was approved and everything, and I went online. It said it was approved. So I'm waiting. My benefit date is the 19th of every month. So when May 19th arrived, I didn't receive my benefits.
She came into the Division of Family and Children's Services office earlier this week, where a caseworker told her her paperwork was approved.
They were saying that they were behind. Everyone that was there had the exact same issue with the renewal not being completed.
But as of today, she still has not received her benefits.
When I called the SNAP benefit line, it says my balance is 0 and there's no pending deposits.
I reached out to the Division of Family and Children's Services to find out what was going on. Immediately after, I received this text message from Atkins. It says, I just received a call from DCF, and they stated that my case was finalized today, and I should receive my benefits in 24 hours. Thank you guys so much for your help. I know it's because of your investigation that I received a call again. Thanks, CBS 46.
There should be a method where you can, if it's late, they can automatically release a button and the recipients be able to receive their benefits, because going to bed hungry every night, and not only me.
Not after November 1st. Cooked, guys. Cooked. Clown world.
The government shutdown continues. We're keeping a close eye on the impact to food aid. One Houston mother who relies on SNAP benefits says she fell on hard times after Hurricane Beryl and now uses a combination of SNAP and food bank groceries to get by. But if federal payments go away, she's not sure how she'll make it.
You never know when you may be the one in need.
For client Cassandra Pearson, life has done a 180. She moved to Texas 10 years ago from Tennessee, had a good job, a home, and even volunteered at the Houston Food Bank and Star of Hope. Now, she's the one in need.
It was scary. For once in my life, I had to come and have help from an organization that I had been helping throughout the years.
Pearson and her 2 children were displaced in Hurricane Beryl, and the struggle to make ends meet has been a constant ever since.
Hurricane Beryl came through, it displaced me and my family, and it affected my job and my health to be able to work. And so this year in May, I was needing some rental assistance, and they had a program here through FEMA where they were helping with that. And so I came here, I was told to come here, and from there I was told about the food pantry. But it's always guaranteed fresh fruit.
Pearson says the food pantry at West Houston Assistance Ministries, or WHAM, is a lifesaver at a time when she's not sure what will happen to her SNAP benefits long term.
This helps to supplement the food stamps for me and my children. You know, when they do your income and everything, doesn't quite make it the whole month. So WHAM has been able to, I've been grateful to come here for that.
With lawmakers in Washington deadlocked, the federal benefits her family needs to get by could be at risk. But this single mom of two is resolute in keeping a positive outlook.
Right? You got a smile on your face.
You got to.
What keeps you going?
My children. You got to. You know, mama, things, you know, you got to be positive. And then find the silver lining in all the clouds that come through.
She is so sweet. We appreciate her sharing her story with us. And whether you are in need of food, shelter, clothing, or financial literacy, WHAM's goal is to help families reach self-sufficiency. For a link to all that they provide, including the food pantry and how to register, check out the
Blah, blah, blah. Their silver linings are tax dollars. Clown world.
As the 1st of November gets closer, we are learning more about what and who will be impacted by the funding lapse due to the federal government shutdown. And it will affect hundreds of Tennessee's most vulnerable children. The National Head Start Association says nearly 10% of children are at risk of their school closing. That's more than 65,000 seats at Head Start programs across this country. Head Start is a federally funded program providing free education, health services, and other kinds of services for families in need. And we know here in Tennessee, 267 seats are expected to be impacted, as well as 56 staff members. And Roy, we have heard so much about how this lapse in funding will impact everyday Tennesseans, including the loss of food assistance.
No doubt about it. Thousands of Tennesseans who potentially won't receive their SNAP benefits next month if the shutdown continues. And we have heard your voice about how this is impacting your families. And sadly, some folks sharing very personal messages like Michelle, who wrote to us, emailed us, sharing that, quote, I have stage 4 cancer and I'm unable to work. If I don't get SNAP, I won't be able to get the protein and healthy foods I need to keep on fighting cancer for the rest of my life. She's not alone. The potential lapse in benefits could impact 690,000 of Tennesseans. Kim Rafferty went to North Nashville, where one mother shares her concerns about not receiving these benefits to help support her family.
So many families in Middle Tennessee rely on SNAP benefits. Here at the Piggly Wiggly in North Nashville, I spoke to some of those families about what would happen if they lose their benefits.
A lot of these mothers are not going to be able to make it, unless we have like backups for them, like the little food banks and stuff like that, so.
Rose Miller shops at Piggly Wiggly for their deals on meat. A longtime cashier, Janet McClendon, says most families in the underserved community shop there to feed their kids.
I say at least 80 out of 100. Yes, ma'am, 80 out of 100. So did most people have food stamps and cards also.
One of those mothers, Cassie McWhirter, tells us how much her son loves superheroes.
They've got all of them.
Cassie learned her food assistance benefits could lapse. She relies on them to shop for her 3 boys and her 2-week-old son.
Especially being the month of Thanksgiving, that'd be horrible timing. Starting to get cold outside, and I got 4 kids, and 3 go to different schools, and I have a newborn.
The Tennessee Department of Human Services said unless the federal government reopens, families like Cassie's can use their October benefits in November, but no benefits would be added to their cards starting November 1st. Governor Lee says the state cannot fund the federal food assistance program known as SNAP, so Cassie would be just one of 121,000 people in Middle Tennessee who could go without. A November Cassie couldn't have planned for.
It would definitely hurt us. We'd probably have to get some food bank stuff, call some family members.
In Nashville, Kim Rafferty, News Channel 5.
Thank you, Kim. House Democrats here in Tennessee calling on Governor Lee to call a special session so they can approve emergency funds, try to help supplement the loss of this federal funding. In Kentucky, Governor Andy Beshear says the state will cover expenses for the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program, also known as TANF.
Now, we want to be a resource for you and help you find places where you can get food for your family. Second Harvest is partnering with several local organizations.
Blah, blah, blah. Cooked. Guys, I don't feel bad, you know? Seriously, having all these bastard kids out here and they expect us to care? Shit. Clown world.
Pressure federal food assistance benefits are set to run out Saturday.
And this affects more than 1.4 million North Carolinians. CBS 17 Shabnam Dinesh joins us live from Raleigh. And Shab, you spoke to one mother from Raleigh who was already rationing baby formula.
Yeah, imagine not knowing how you're going to feed your baby next week. Well, that's the reality for 32-year-old Autumn McCullough. And she says she's speaking out because there are tens of thousands of mothers in the same situation. Yeah. Autumn McCullough depends on $850 in SNAP and WIC benefits each month to feed her 3-month-old son, fiance, and mother. But on Saturday,
look at that, guys. To feed her 3-month-old son and her fiance. This bum is not working? Like, what's he doing? Why doesn't he have a job?
Saturday, those benefits are set to dry up as the government shutdown enters its second month.
So it is terrifying. I'm scared that he's not going to be able to get what he needs, the nutrient he needs. He's a growing baby.
She says her baby, Sutton, has special needs. He goes through a $46 can of special formula every few days, but she's been forced to ration his meals to stretch out what they have into November.
We're trying to do the best we can, but at the same time, when you hear your child crying because he's hungry and you basically kind of almost have to tell him, I'm sorry, buddy, we have to try to save as much as we can, his little child brain doesn't understand. He just understands that he's hungry.
McCullough has been on food stamps since losing her job in 2020. She suffers from bipolar disorder, PTSD, and since having her son, postpartum depression.
So it made it, like I said, very hard to keep down a job, or I would quit a job because I felt like people were targeting me.
She says the uncertainty of the shutdown makes her feel like a pawn in a political game.
Everybody is in the dark about this. People that need to know about these things don't have any answers. They don't know what's going on because there's literally, it's an ongoing problem that there's no ending in sight.
Especially with Thanksgiving just a few weeks away.
I think doing it right before the holidays is horrible. It's almost un-American because it's Thanksgiving time. Thanksgiving is built on tradition. America is built on tradition. You're messing with people's lives and it shouldn't be allowed.
McCullough says her fiance does work, but it's not enough to make ends meet. And her mother has health issues, so those SNAP benefits help supplement the money she works.
Look at that, guys. Guys, America's built on having a job, you dunderhead.
You stupid woman!
And if she does have all that physical stuff wrong with her, which, I mean, guys, come on. I mean, that mental stuff wrong with her, which, guys, let's be honest.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Why would she have a baby? Why? Someone says, why would you have a kid when you can't afford to feed them all? Look at that. Someone says, wait, feed her fiance? Walmart's always hiring. I don't understand when the household has multiple adults that they can't make a work schedule that keeps one of them at home and one to take care of the baby. If you can't support yourself, why bring the baby into the world? Facts. Someone says, damn, they have $850 worth of benefits with one kid and 2 other adults. Someone says, this is how SNAP benefits get cut. Getting on the news and telling us that you're using them fraudulently. Someone says, what about delivering Uber instead complaining? Yeah, I don't think this is going the way that they thought. You know? Someone says, why isn't your fiance working? Someone says, the craziest thing to me is that you can't hold a job, you can raise a child. Let that sink in. This country's full of excuses. Look at that. What a joke. Guys, you know what? I'm glad that this is happening, guys. I really, really am. Guys, you shouldn't feel bad because I certainly don't. But all right, you guys, this is AJ. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, guys. We'll do a follow-up after November 1st because it's right around the corner. All right, you guys. Have a good one.